Sitting here today, are you aware of any factual predicate to investigate Jack Smith? Sitting here today, yes or no?
Senator, I will look at the facts and the circumstances.
You can't answer that question. You're not a part of the department yet. There's no worry about divulging
I'm sitting
law
here as a
enforcement
nominee.
sensitive information. So just tell us, are you aware? Just tell us, are you aware of a factual predicate to investigate Jack Smith? Yes or no?
Senator, what I'm hearing on the news is
Are you aware of
horrible.
a?
Do I know if he committed a crime? I have not looked
You seem reluctant to answer a simple question. Let me ask you a different simple question. The president also wants to jail Liz Cheney. Sitting here today, are you aware of any factual basis to investigate Liz Cheney? Yes or no?
Senator, that's a hypothetical, and I'm not going to answer that question.
No, it's not hypothetical. I'm asking you, sitting here today, whether you are aware of a factual predicate to investigate Liz Cheney.
Senator,
hey everyone, welcome back to Congress Every Day. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss any of our breaking political analysis. In today's video, we're diving deep into a fiery moment between former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi and Senator Adam Schiff. The two had a heated exchange regarding the future of the Department of Justice and whether it could be used for political gain under the next administration. What followed was a serious test of independence, accountability, and trust. Stick around to see how it all went down. The tension was palpable as Senator Adam Schiff challenged Pam Bondi's commitment to acting independently from the president. Schiff took the opportunity to press—
Senator, no one has asked me to investigate Liz Cheney. That is a hypothetical.
The president has called for it publicly. You are aware of that, aren't you?
No one has asked me to investigate.
But the president has
We're also worried about Liz Cheney, Senator.
The president has called for this.
You know what we should be worried about?
Ms. Bondi, please answer my questions.
California right now is through the roof.
Ms. Bondi,
your robberies are 87% higher than the national average.
My question is this.
That's what I want to be focused on, Senator.
Do you have the power to say no to the president? And what you're suggesting today by your non-answer is you don't have the independence to say no to the president. So let me ask you a different question. It also requires you, if you're going to be a good attorney general, to be able to tell hard truths to the president. So my questions now are, can you tell hard truths to the president? So let me start with an easy truth that you could speak to the president. Can you tell him—
to press Bondi on whether, as attorney general, she would be willing to open investigations based solely on the president's personal requests. Specifically, figures like special counsel Jack Smith and former Congresswoman Liz Cheney were named, both of whom had been vocal critics of Trump. Bondi remained steadfast, insisting that any investigation would need to be grounded in factual evidence. She made it clear that her decisions wouldn't be swayed by mere summaries or public opinion. She wanted to see the facts for herself. But the conversation quickly turned to the 2020 election. Schiff didn't hold back.
That Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. Can you say that? Do you have the independence to say that? Do you have the gravitas, the stature, the intestinal fortitude to say, Donald Trump, you lost the 2020 election? Can you tell us that here today?
Senator, what I can tell you is I will never play politics. You're trying to engage me in a gotcha. I won't do it. I won't play politics with any ongoing investigation,
so let me ask you another,
like you did leaking your colleague Devin Nunes's memo.
If you can't answer the question, let me ask you a different, what should be a simple truth, not a hard one. Was there massive fraud affecting the result of the 2020 election, yes or no?
Senator, I'm glad you asked that question, if you'll let me answer what I saw in Pennsylvania.
No, I asked a simple question about massive fraud.
I can only tell you what I saw in Pennsylvania.
I know you want to answer a different question, but my question is—
Hold back as he asked Bondi directly whether she believed there was massive fraud in the election. Bondi's response? She dodged the question, choosing instead to focus on her own observations in Pennsylvania, but failing to directly address the fraud claims. Was this a deliberate attempt to avoid taking a political stance? Or did Bondi truly not want to engage in the ongoing debate surrounding the election results? It certainly left viewers with more questions than answers. Next up, Schiff took Bondi to task on the subject of pardons, particularly those for individuals involved in the—
Can you tell us whether there was massive fraud affecting the results of the 2020 election, yes or no? Was there or was there not?
I can tell you what I saw when I went as an advocate to the campaign.
That's not my question. So you can't answer that question. You can't speak that even easy truth to us, let alone to the president. So let me ask you a different question. It will also be important that you give good advice to the president. Are you prepared to advise the president not to pardon people who beat police officers?
Senator, as I said, the pardons are at the direction of the president. We will look and we will advise. I will look at every case on a case. Let me finish. On a case-by-case basis.
Okay, good.
And I abhor violence to police officers.
Follow up with that. So will it be your advice to the president, Mr. President? I know you said you want to issue hundreds of pardons on day one. Will it be your advice to the president? No, Mr. President, I need to go over them on a case-by-case basis. Do not issue blanket pardons. Will that be your advice to the president?
Senator, I have not looked at any of those files. If confirmed,
in the January 6th riot and others who harmed police officers. Would Bondi advise the president against issuing blanket pardons? Would she stand up to the president and say no when necessary? Bondi danced around this question too, saying that pardons should be handled on a case-by-case basis. But when asked if she could advise the president on pardons, she simply said she would need to review the cases first. So, can we trust that she would act independently and give the president good advice, even if it goes against his wishes? That remains to be seen. Finally, Schiff dropped a bombshell question regarding the January 6th investigation. Could Bondi guarantee that no evidence related to the riot would be destroyed under her watch as Attorney General? She hesitated, only saying she would follow the law and consult with ethical officials. Given the sensitive nature of the investigation, Schiff's frustration was palpable. Why couldn't Bondi commit to preserving the evidence? This moment raised serious concerns about transparency and accountability within the Department of Justice under her leadership. The questions raised by Senator Schiff were not just hypothetical, they dug into the core of what makes the Department of Justice function independently from political influence. Can Pam Bondi truly be trusted to put the law above politics? Only time will tell if she is willing to make the hard calls required of the Attorney General. But what do you think? Can Bondi be trusted to act independently, or does she seem too tied to political pressures? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up for more political breakdowns like this.